Fancy seeing you here. I'm your host, Ali Ray, a serial entrepreneur and mom who loves building brands and raising babies. This is a podcast about being on brand and in season in every facet of your life. Each week, we dive into topics around business and brand development while sprinkling some hard-earned life lessons in there too. So if you love a good brand and a good breakdown, buckle up and come along with me as I sort of seamlessly switch between major life roles in an attempt to fulfill all the life dreams of a Type A Enneagram 3 millennial small business owner who wants to help other entrepreneurs and raise good humans. This is the Ali Ray Haney Show. Hey everyone, welcome to a special ESC Events podcast episode. I am here with Ali, the co-founder of the ESC Conference and the ESC Retreat. Hey Ali.
Hello. Excited to collaborate today.
I know, it's so exciting. We do a lot of this behind the scenes, so it's always fun when we get to push something out. And this will be going live on both of our podcasts, and mine is the Mastermind Mixer, and yours, Ali?
Mine is the Ali Ray Haney Show.
Awesome. So we are coming together because we have some fun things to talk about. So Ali, I'm going to let you dive in and kind of do the little intro to what we're getting into because I'm super excited to talk about it.
Sure. So we're going to have a little bit of story time first. So we hosted the very first ESC Conference back in April of this year. So April 2024. And Kassie and I kind of went in, I don't want to say blindly because we did copious amounts of research beforehand, but we went in not knowing really what to expect from the outcome of the event. And I can say confidently that the outcome of the event was bigger than what we had even imagined. So now that we are a few months out, we've really been seeing a lot of ripple effects of all of the connections that were made at the ESC Conference. I have started to keep a list of all of the people that are working together that we were able to bring together at the conference. And I think we're up to close to 10 to 15 different major business like connections and involvements. So that's pretty darn cool. And for a small business owner, that can be really impactful, which was the whole point of the ESC Conference.
Right. And I think it's been really cool to even now, yes, we've seen really big connections, but even like I love that whenever I see a post in a Facebook group of somebody looking for somebody, it's all of our attendees in the comments like hyping each other up. And I think that is so cool. And I personally get DMs from attendees and speakers alike of like, hey, we saw this, you should apply for it. Or, all of these different like little just support and like cheerleading happening behind the scene. That's been really cool too.
Yeah, that is so true. I didn't even think about the Facebook groups, but it's not a single day that I log on that I don't see somebody was tagging somebody else from the conference, which is really cool.
Yeah, it is really neat. I love it.
So we decided that we were going to also create a second event, a fall event, the ESC Retreat. However, looking at sort of the overall big picture, that brings us and our community together maybe 8 days out of a year. And we really just wanted to find a way to better serve entrepreneurs who are in our community and those who want to join our community in some way throughout the entire year. We didn't want to limit it to 8 days because we saw the impact that those 8 days had. So why not just pile on some more goodness?
And if you read or hear the reviews from the conference or you were there, you know that like we love to give. Like giving is like a low key love language of ours apparently. So, or maybe not so low key. I think we did really well with what our attendees called the details and just showering them with every possible like piece of information and love that we could. And I think that this, what's coming now is the trickle effect of that even,
Absolutely. So as we were kind of like brainstorming, how can we positively impact this group of women outside of those 8 days a year? And suddenly in my inbox popped this email from Ashlyn Carter, and it was a video about how she was starting a newsletter. And that newsletter had specific things that could help her ideal client and be able to serve them continuously in their inbox every week. And so taking a couple notes out of Ashlyn Carter's book, we were like, wow, that would be really great for us to do for our business owners that are specifically looking to grow. And oftentimes it's either just them as a solopreneur or them plus maybe one, maybe two other team members. So we were taking my expertise in branding and marketing, Kassie's expertise in systems and operations, and bringing them together, packaging them up. So it's like you could have a full agency behind you to be able to support you in your day-to-day endeavors of your business.
Yeah. And we've just really, it made so much sense when it did come up. And I want to say something about Ashlyn Carter's approach to the email that you got to, because it very much like speaks to us as well. It's because she doesn't gatekeep. So it was really nice to see somebody that's like, in our opinion, like thriving and successful, but she's like, hey, here's what I'm doing. And like, here's the steps you need to take to do it. And she really like just laid it out where we were like, this is what we've been trying to come up on our own. And we just kept like feeling like, you know, we had tossed around a few ideas, but nothing felt like a solid, like, this is what we should do. So I just love that with the same intentions that we have, we're like finding that community amongst others too, which feels really good.
Absolutely. So I feel like we've teased it quite a bit. Do you want to take it over and jump into exactly what we are launching and announcing and sharing with the world today?
Absolutely. So we will be dropping into your inbox weekly with the ESC Impact Weekly Subscription. It will be, like I said, how many times can I say weekly? You'll be getting something every week. And each week will be themed to different topics that are in our, what do you say? So something genius in our
zone of genius.
Yes, in our zone of genius. So one week will be operations, another week will be community, then a third week will be marketing, and a last week will be lifestyle. So every week throughout the month, you'll expect something, and just staying true to ourselves, it's going to be tangible, actionable, impactful. We don't want fluff in your inbox because that would be really annoying to get that every week. We want something that you can actually take and do it that week or do it that month that will help you, chip away at the mountain of what it means to be a solopreneur.
Absolutely. So each month is going to have a different theme. So let's say for an example, the month of October could all be surrounding goal planning, or the month of November can all be surrounding business development. But each week we deliver different resources. Those resources could be an email template, a Canva graphic that you can personalize to your business, a checklist, a spreadsheet. And each week you'll have a marketing resource. The next week you'll have a community resource. The next week you'll have an operations resource. And finally, to round out the month, you'll have a lifestyle resource.
And the reason that we're doing it that way is obviously like operation and systems is my zone of genius, marketing and branding is Ali's, and then community and lifestyle like really speaks to our attendees, and it really speaks to our core values and our mission behind ESC Events. And, community being networking in the solopreneur world, like not feeling alone. I don't know how many people have really examined our website to know our values, but one of those is respect. And at the core of that is that we understand that people have life outside of their business. So we're going to make you break away from the computer every now and again, or encourage you to like find a balance of sorts and understand like how you can have a business and still have a life and do all those things. So that's where those categories really, really come from.
Yeah, it was really funny that we were sitting down to try and figure out what we wanted our 4 categories were going to be. And of course, marketing and operations, that was a given because that's what we do in our own businesses. And then to round out the rest of the month, we were like, how do we incorporate the values that we set forth for ESC into this because those values, that's something that we didn't do individually for our own businesses to start out with. And we knew when we were starting the foundation of Escape that that's something that was a non-negotiable. And now we refer back to those values probably weekly, and definitely whenever we decide to make a new offering or make a major decision for the business.
Yeah, it's so true. And I think it encouraged both of us to do that in our own separate businesses because it makes everything so much easier. So as soon as we were like, how do we fill this in? We were like, okay, what are our values? Oh, these are our values. Okay, we need something that shows them how to build their community, and we need to prove that they can have a life and a business. And it really does. If you haven't done that, hot tip for this episode, go and like make your values and your mission statement to have that solid foundation.
And it's so funny that like I'm the kind of person that's like, we have to have actionable, we have to have tangible, it has to be business related. So when the idea of lifestyle kind of came across the table, I was like, no, just like immediately kind of write it off. And then Kassie was like, no, let's like dive into this because this directly speaks to our value of respect. And then she gave me a couple of examples of templates and AI prompts and other things that she thought would fit really well in that category. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah, I need that.
I really do believe that outsourcing doesn't have to live within your business. I think that you can outsource things in your life too. So that's where I like kind of got my inspiration is like, okay, we were just talking right before this of like, okay, we have this day that we can work and it's awesome, but like, we feel like we should be doing laundry. Like we feel like we should be like meal prepping, like all of these things. So how can we get, things within the newsletter in the subscription to help people figure out how to do all of those things?
Absolutely. And like we already mentioned in this episode, it feels like we're wearing like so many hats all the time. And a lot of times that whole like house management kind of falls on our shoulders too. So having that ability to outsource those things at a very low cost is so valuable.
Well, and that's another thing. Ali and I are very different when it comes to like taking the risk of the financial risk to hire out and seeing that. Like Ali is so much bolder than I am. I'm a lot more conservative about where my money goes. So coming up with a subscription like this really spoke to both of us because the low price point, which we'll get to in a minute, it's in the impact. So the impact that Ali spoke about earlier that she really prioritizes. And then me feeling like I'm getting like an agency of branding and operations and like a life coach all in my inbox is such an easier way to move forward. And it makes me more comfortable. So I think that was a really cool thing to see come to life between the two of us as well.
One of the main pain points that we feel like a lot of our attendees have, they're at this like messy middle point of growth where they are needing extra help, right? They now have the sales coming in that they need to make a sustainable business, but they're not quite at that point of being able to hire like a full-time employee. So of course, the next thing you think of is, okay, I'm going to hire a contractor, but it's also hard to figure out how to onboard a contractor, be, for lack of a better term, an employer, and teach them all of your standard operating procedures, how you do things. And so we are trying to fill in that gap and make a bridge between those two feelings of being so stretched thin as a solopreneur and being in that spot where you can actually hire somebody. And so that's where this subscription, this newsletter is coming in to bridge the gap.
I'm so excited, and I am going to throw it your way because I do feel like this is a little bit of your baby too. So like, tell us the pitch, give us when it's happening, what's happening, how we find out about it.
Absolutely. So our open cart week is August 7th through August 13th. So when these episodes, both on my podcast and Kassie's, go live, it will be the time that you are able to purchase the Escape Weekly Subscription so that you can build your business. And if you purchase during that week, you will actually receive 1 full month free. So you're going to receive 4 newsletters during that 1 month period throughout each of those categories one time, so that you can really see what it's all about, to see if it is a good fit for you. So if you purchase during that period, you get that full 1 month free. And after that, it will be $12 a month for the Escape Impact Weekly Subscription.
Yeah. And I also want to note that that 30 days is just like a full trial. Like, we know that this is going to be so amazing that we're like, you can try it for 30 days. And I don't know how you're going to turn it down after that, because we've put a lot of energy and a lot of time to make sure that it's not fluffy and that it's not, smoke and mirrors of where we say this is what you should do, but we're not going to tell you how to do it. We are giving you the thing that you could do right then to move forward, which I think is so great.
Absolutely. And as if that wasn't enough, we are also hosting 2 webinars between this week and next week. So the first webinar is on August 7th, but if you happen to catch this episode a little bit later on Kassie's podcast, we also have one on August 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We will put in the show notes a way to sign up for that webinar, and that way you can kind of get into the ecosystem. You can understand what we're all about, that we are very, very clear in our actionable strategies and how to employ those. The name of the masterclass is 8 Steps to ESC Escape the Grind, Actionable Strategies for Female Entrepreneurs. We are excited to be able to give you even a sooner glimpse into what will be the Escape Impact Weekly Subscription. So we would love to see you there. And like I said, sign up will be in the show notes.
I am so excited. It's happening finally. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. As always, Ali and I are always open to DMs. You can find us on Instagram, respectively at Kassie Lane, KassieLayne, and then Ali Ray Haney, ALIRAEHANEY.
You got it.
And then lastly, in the Escape account, which is ESC_conference. So find us online. If you have any questions in the meantime, sign up for the webinar, and then join us for our Escape Impact Weekly subscription.
Thanks, guys.
As my son would say, did it! You just completed another episode of the Ali Ray Haney Show. If you found this helpful, please rate, review, and subscribe to help others find this show and so you never miss an episode. Take a look at the show notes for all the resources mentioned in today's episode. Let's continue the conversation over in my private Facebook group, the Ali Ray Haney Show Insiders. See you next Wednesday, and as always, I'm here cheering you on as you build your dream brand and business.